Hey guys, welcome back. Houston Math Prep here. In this video, we're going to look at another way of expressing rational numbers, which are called mixed numbers. A mixed number is the sum of an integer and a proper fraction. Remember that a proper fraction is a fraction with an absolute value that is less than 1. Remember that occurs when the absolute value of the numerator is less than the absolute value of the denominator. So let's take a look at these mixed numbers. Typically, they look a lot like this. Here, a, or the larger number, is considered our integer. B over c is that proper fraction, and then when we put those together, we get a mixed number. So a mixed number can be left as it is, or it can be rewritten as an improper fraction. Just a reminder on the vocab here that an improper fraction is a fraction whose absolute value is greater than 1. That will occur whenever the absolute value of the numerator is larger than the absolute value of the denominator. So, if we wanted to take our mixed number, a and b over c, and we wanted to rewrite it as an improper fraction, we would do that first by getting a common denominator between a and b over c. So we would do that by multiplying a by c over c. Then we can combine into an improper fraction a times c plus b all over c. So let's look at that with the mixed number 2 3/4. 2 3/4 can be rewritten as an improper fraction by taking 2 and multiplying it by 1 in the form of 4 over 4, and adding that to 3/4. So 2 times 4 over 4 becomes 8 over 4 plus 3 over 4, which results in 11 over 4. So 2 3/4 as a mixed number is equivalent to the improper fraction 11 over 4. Sometimes we want to do this because it makes operations maybe a bit easier. Sometimes it's just a preference, or maybe the instructions in a problem that we're working ask for our answer in fraction form. One thing that we can do with mixed numbers, besides converting them to improper fractions, is we can add and subtract them. One way to do this is, of course, to turn them into improper fractions and add them that way. Another way is to combine like parts. That is, we would add the integer parts together and then add the fractional parts together. So if we had two mixed numbers, a and b over c, plus or minus, so we could add or subtract the mixed number d and e over f, we would do that by adding up the integer parts, a plus d, and adding up the fractional parts, b over c plus or minus e over f, of course, doing so with common denominators. So here, if we want to add 3 2/5 with 2 4/5, we can start by grouping the like pieces. We'll take the integer parts, 3 plus 2, and add that to the fraction parts, 2/5 plus 4/5. Well, 3 plus 2 gives us 5, and 2/5 plus 4/5 gives us 6/5. Notice here, 6/5 is an improper fraction, so we need to break that apart into 1 plus 1/5. We know that we get that because 6/5 is the same thing as 5/5, or 1, plus 1/5. Now, combining that, we get 6 1/5 as our final answer. If we want to do a problem involving subtraction, it looks very similar. Here, 5 1/4 minus 2 3/4, we again group the integer parts and group the fractional parts. So we get 5 minus 2 and 1/4 minus 3/4. Here, 5 minus 2 becomes 3, and 1/4 minus 3/4 becomes negative 2/4. Here, we need to be able to subtract or add a negative 2/4. So we're going to trade in 1 from the 3 and make that 2 plus 4/4 plus negative 2/4. If we combine the 4/4 plus -2/4, we get 2 and 2/4, or simplifying 2 and 1/2. Now we can also multiply and divide mixed numbers, but when we do, we need to convert them to improper fractions first. They don't do well as mixed numbers for multiplication and division. So taking a look at -2 and 1/3 times 4 and 2/5, we would first want to convert those to their improper fractions, -7/3 and 22/5. Then we can multiply straight across like we do normally for fractions to get -154 over 15. If we then want to rewrite our answer as a mixed number, that would be -10 and 4/15. To divide two mixed numbers, so if we wanted to take -2 and 1/3 and divide that by 4 and 2/5, we again want to do that process from improper fractions. So converting to -7/3 divided by 22 over 5, we'll flip that second fraction to make it multiplication and have -7/3 times 5 over 22. That becomes -35 over 66. Alright guys, well that does it for this video on expressing rational numbers as mixed numbers. Until next time, we'll catch you in a future video.